So we've just had some bad news about the Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake, and to be honest, it's not just the remake itself, it's Ubisoft as a whole, because they just dropped one of the biggest company updates news drops in ages. It's not a new trailer, it's not a release date for a game, it's not even a here's what's coming next year roadmap for Shadows. Ubisoft has said they are resetting the company in a way that cancels so many different things. Ubisoft has said they've cancelled 6 games, there's 7 games that have been delayed and 2 studios that have been closed, and they're now reorganizing how the entire company operates moving forward. So in this video I want to quickly break it down properly, what got cancelled, what got delayed, why this is happening, and what it means for Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft as a whole, because I think the future of Assassin's Creed is about to look very different. First off, let's just acknowledge how insane this is. Ubisoft cancelling one game, that happens. A delay, that's basically a Tuesday with Ubisoft, it happens all the time, but cancelling 6 games and delaying 7 at the same time, that doesn't seem like just development problems to me. That's Ubisoft looking at their slate and going, we can't keep doing this. And to be honest, that sounds like the kind of move you do when projects are either costing too much, taking too long, not meeting expectations, or all 3 of those points. And of course, the most annoying part of this is, it doesn't just affect random side projects. When Ubisoft does cuts like this, it impacts their big franchises too, because suddenly they're thinking what's actually making money, what's safe, and what can we afford to take risks on. And as fans, that's where we should start paying attention. The part that always feels grim and is terrible about these situations are of course the studio closures. Ubisoft has reportedly closed Ubisoft Halifax and Ubisoft Stockholm. Now, whenever studios shut down, it's not just corporate restructuring, it's people losing their jobs. People's careers get disrupted and years of hard work just disappearing. It also tells you that this isn't some minor shakeup. Ubisoft is trimming whole branches off the tree. Usually, when that happens, it's because the company is trying to get leaner, faster, and less wasteful while moving forward. It's awful, it's messy, and people shouldn't be losing their jobs like this. And while as fans, yes, we can be like, oh, this is terrible, I can't play my game early, it's even worse for the developers. Now, of course, the headline cancellation everyone's talking about currently is the Prince of Persia Sands of Time remake. And to be honest, I'm not even shocked, I'm just disappointed. This remake has been trapped in development limbo for years. It got announced, people weren't impressed, it got delayed again, it went quiet, it had a ton of leaks, changed studios, and then it went quiet again. Now, Ubisoft has confirmed it's cancelled, which is gutting because that game means a lot to a lot of people. But it also sums up Ubisoft's wider problem perfectly. They keep starting projects, announcing them early, then realize halfway through, yeah, this isn't gonna work. And instead of shipping something half-baked, they've cut it, which I kinda do respect. Because we all know out there, Ubisoft can't afford another release that feels like it needed another 18 more months in the oven. On top of that, Ubisoft has delayed several different games. We don't know exactly what those games are, but a couple of them are new IPs, ton of them are games that are already announced, and one is specifically a game that is unannounced that was supposed to launch this year, but has now been pushed back to 2027, and we all know what that is. That is the Black Flag remake, which we'll talk more about later in the video. But before that, I wanted to talk about how all of this matters in the long term, because other than the delays and the cancellations, Ubisoft is reorganizing itself into 5 created houses. Basically, the idea is, instead of Ubisoft being one massive organization trying to make everything at once, they're splitting things into smaller divisions that focus on specific types of games and franchises. One of those divisions is specifically built around Ubisoft's big money makers like Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Rainbow Six, and if you're an Assassin's Creed fan, like we all are, this is a big deal, because of course it tells us Assassin's Creed isn't going anywhere. We all know this, it's Ubisoft's moneymaker. But my thought is that hopefully it's going to become more important to Ubisoft than ever before, but it also means that Assassin's Creed is going to be treated like Ubisoft's safety net. This is good because it could mean more polishing between games, better planning, constant releases that don't feel like you're playing a half-baked game, but then it could be bad because there might be less experimentation, a more safer formula for their games, and more corporate decisions, and it really does depend on which Ubisoft turns up the heat into which game. Now, Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Splinter Cell are going to Vantage Studios, we've known that for a while. But then you have the other creative houses. You have Creative House 2, which will focus on competitive and cooperative shooter experience like The Division, Ghost Recon, and Splinter Cell. The third creative house will be centered around live experiences releases like For Honor, The Crew, Riders Republic, Brawlhalla, and Skull and Bones, Creative House 4 will feature immersive fantasy worlds and narrative-driven universes such as Anno, Might and Magic, Rayman, Prince of Persia, Rest in Peace, and Beyond Good and Evil. And the last and final Creative House will be dedicated to the casual and family-friendly titles such as Just Dance, Idle Miner Tycoon, Ketchup, Hungry Shark, Invincible, Garden the Globe, Uno, and other Hasbro games. So they've got a lot of work on their hands. And look, I'm not going to turn this into a finance channel, but this is obviously a money move for Ubisoft. In the past, they've talked about lower sale expectations and huge cost-cutting procedures. They've already cut 100 million in costs, and now they're aiming for another 200 million saved over the next 2 years. So when you see cancelled games and studio closures, this is the reason behind it. They're trying to stop the bleeding, and when companies do that, they focus on what they know works, which brings us nicely to the Assassin's Creed remake. Going over the report, Ubisoft has officially pushed back an unannounced game to 2027. Obviously, Ubisoft didn't say what it is, but let's be honest, we pretty much know what it is. If there's one unannounced Ubisoft game that keeps getting talked about over and over, the leaks keep coming in for it, it's obviously the Black Flag remake. And if that's being pushed back, I think that's a good thing, which I know sounds weird because delays are normally bad and the hype for the game is bigger than ever. But if the Black Flag remake is real, it has to be done properly. Black Flag is one of the most loved games in the entire franchise. If Ubisoft were to rush out a unfinished title, they wouldn't just mess up a remake, they'd be torching the trust they have with the players. So personally, I would rather wait until 2027 and get proper next-gen visuals, improved stealth, better combat, tighter mission design, better parkour, and cool, fun naval gameplay that feels as good as we remember. Because that's better than getting a 2026 release of the game that feels like, here's the same game, but with a new store and microtransactions sort of thing. Black Flag is the one remake that has potential to unite the fan base just a little bit. Old AC fans, new AC fans, everyone likes pirates, so it's a good remake to release. So if any of the developers are watching this, take your time with the game, make it as good as you possibly can. But then the big question is, where does this leave us with Assassin's Creed in 2026? Honestly, I think we're gonna get a year that's a little bit more quieter, but more deliberate in what they release and show. I don't think we're gonna have a massive mainline release this year, not a giant expansion either that takes over your life. Instead, I think we're going to get continued support for Shadows, maybe that co-op mode that's been leaked if it's to be believed, and then some smaller updates with Ubisoft preparing the ground for their next big swing. And then if this company reset means they stopped shipping unfinished games, that's a huge win for everyone, because Assassin's Creed doesn't need to be bigger anymore, it just needs to be better. So yeah, Ubisoft has hit reset on the entire company with 6 games cancelled, 7 delayed, 2 studios closed, and then the reorganization of the entire company into 5 divisions built around their bigger franchises. It's messy, it's dramatic, and it honestly feels like Ubisoft's being forced to change. The upside to all of this though is that it could finally be the moment they stop overcommitting and start delivering games that feel finished again. Ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section down below, let me know what you think about this article. I have it linked in the description down below so you can go ahead and read over it yourself. Do you think this is a good thing for the games to be delayed? Are you happy that Black Flag has been delayed so it may get some more polish? Let me know down below. If you guys have enjoyed this video, a like would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to subscribe for some more Assassin's Creed content. I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video.